You say nips and dicks?
Whoa,
Oops.
we're live.
You just read. I don't know if you need to edit that out or not, but
all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. It is Offside Hockey Talk. This is the Leafs Weekender. We are feeling a little wild. We just had Alan and Amansky on. Previous to this, a live show that you guys probably already watched, but now this is the Leafs Weekender, proudly brought to you by our friends at Boxing Rock Brewing Co., the absolute big beer for the big game. And yes, if anything was taught to me this week, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on the beating the drum for a top six forward for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I think with Auston Matthews going out, it really solidified that need to bring in a top six guy. And why do I say that? Auston Matthews being out allowed teams to focus on Mitch Marner, John Tavares, a little bit more. Willie was dancing, yes, but it really allowed teams to game plan differently. And it really did not give the Leafs two lines of continuity to flow through, and then the checking line not being able to stay intact. So for me, this is my opening the show rant. The Leafs definitely need a top six guy, in my opinion. And yes, they need a defenseman, but I really think another over-the-piece top for the top six really gets it done. Boys, am I out to lunch on this one with the intro? What did you see there for those three games?
I don't think so at all. You've seen it happen time and time again. Matthews takes the time off that he needs during a season. He injured his wrist last year. He took the time off. Whatever's going on right now, which I assume is almost same related. You do need another guy, but we've been kind of delaying that trade to go a trade to progress and go through to find out who that top six guy is. I feel like it needs to be a power forward in my mind. We don't need another Mitch Marner-esque. We don't need we need somebody to put the puck in the back of the net, but you don't need somebody at the caliber of Matthews. So my first thought is Timo Meier, but that's just who I think off the top of my head.
Petey, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, Matthews, he hasn't looked himself at all this year. I mean, he's still putting up a ton of points, but keeps comments where he was battling through this injury that is still undisclosed. We have no idea. I mean, I guess we have a good idea. It's probably his wrist. But yeah, we definitely need some help on that top six. Would be nice to get Ryan O'Reilly. I don't think it's possible, but it would be cool to see. Another thing to note, the boys were tired. I mean, Keith's comments on after the Wings game, they played 5 games in 8 days. So they looked a little slow, but playing back-to-backs, 5 games in 8 days, it's a lot on them. So I don't know, James, what do you think?
Well, and couple that, I'm not trying to make excuses here, okay? Because they lost 2 games, and, they should be on the better end of things. They look pretty good against Boston, by the way. But there is a flu bug going around the team as well.
Fair.
Matthews at the pregame skate, when he did the pregame interview, he looked sick as a dog. He did not look healthy. You don't know who else is also feeling under the weather as well. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm not feeling well, I don't want to go rip around on skates. I don't want to sweat it out. I want to sit in my PJs and drink some Gatorade. Listen, Dylan, maybe that's you, but I don't really think I want to be out there taking bumps and bruises and all that stuff and draining my tank.
I would go to practice probably, but I wouldn't do a full-fledged game. I feel like some of the time a fresh skate to me clears up everything, and I don't know why, but more or less, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go on the ice.
I'm one of those guys that gets, when I get sick, I am a baby. Like I don't want to move. I just want to sit in my bed. I want to turn the Netflix on. I don't want to fucking skate. I just want to rest. I want to get better. I want to be 100%. I don't want to cost my team an L. I want to be 100% up there.
No, I get that. I get that. Here's one thing, guys, and I've been saying this for a very long time too, about players within the Maple Leafs organization. One was Jake Muzzin, and now it may be Austin Matthews. I'm saying load management may be a thing. Load management may start to be a thing in the NHL. Dylan, you may not like it, but other leagues do it. And if you're going towards the playoffs and you know guys bumped or bruised or banged or battered, why not give them a couple games off?
They do that at the end of the year, though.
At the end of the year, but I'm
last
talking
year.
in the middle of the year. I'm talking when you guys, the Leafs already know they're playing Tampa. That's happening.
Yeah,
Unless
also
they
the
fall off
structure.
a damn cliff, they're either in the second or third spot. So if you have a guy right now that needs to take some time off, hello, Mark Giordano, come on down because you're looking a little slow. Take some time off, rest up, catch your breath. You got to tell me that Mark Giordano leads the Leafs in block shots, and I mean heavy block shots, and that guy ain't hurting.
It's
And
weird.
that guy ain't
So
having
weird. And he's the
injuries.
oldest guy in the NHL.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though? This guy is eating pucks for breakfast. Num, 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 num. Feed me some more, boys. And then it just keeps happening for him, but he's not losing any step. He's tired, though. You can see that he's slowing down a bit. So I'm saying maybe rest him a couple games, let him go and just heal up. But what he says to the media is, I don't want to do that. I don't want to slow down. I don't want to this or that. But load management is coming, whether we like it or not. I think we start to see guys play 70, 65 games, somewhere in that range, with teams wanting to save their best players for the playoffs and allowing them to take a Buffalo or a bottom of the standings game off and seeing what you got within your organization. Doesn't hurt.
I think in the offseason, Matthews needs to take care of this wrist situation.
He already did, though. He already had surgery. If it's his wrist again, then like I said to Clark, and I don't know if I said it in our group chat or not, he needs to have it broken and reset then. If the surgery didn't fix it. If it's a bone issue, then, it happens all the time. If you let something in your hand or anywhere heal and you don't go get it checked out, what they tell you is they have to re-break it to set it properly.
Yeah.
That might be what has to happen. Hello, Kirby Doc, when he had his wrist snapped into an S at the World Juniors.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Do you think 82 games is too much, James? Do you think they should lower the amount of games they play in a season?
They're not going to lower it. They want to up
They
it.
want
That's the
more
thing.
games.
They want to
But-
shorten the preseason and up the regular season. They do. They're not going to lower it. The do re mi boys is too much. The ad advertisements of everything. It's just too much money to especially for some teams that might not make the playoffs. More home games, more home dates means more money in your pocket for the home team. So they're going to want to do it. They want that gate revenue. So they're never going to cut it down. But what I'm saying is I think players will adapt to load management. I will think that you'll see, guys will sit out an Arizona game on February the 3rd or whatever it is. But that's something I think that is coming. I don't care what anybody says. And by the way, my theory about Jake Muzzin is gaining steam. I'm hearing regular media people talk about the fact the Leafs may be hiding Jake Muzzin.
Maybe they're listening to us.
He was on the trip. Again, he's traveling with
He
the
needs to be
team.
around the boys. I don't care what anybody says. The guys in the locker room bring up your morale. And I can guarantee you almost every guy in the locker room needs to get away from his wife so he goes on road trips.
He's got to be there for his own mental health. He's got to be doing something. He can't
I
just sit
agree
there.
with you guys fully. But this guy, and Keith says it all the time, he's staying sharp in the gym. He's watching
Absolutely.
tape. He's doing everything he needs to do to be ready for when he can go back onto the ice. I'm telling you, Jake Muzzin is coming back for the goddamn playoffs. And if I'm wrong, I will. You guys can pick the worst thing in the world that is allowed to be eaten, and I will eat it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we might
Line him
go
up
with
for
the
some
super spicy
Buffalo
pepper.
Wild Wings, hot wings.
I will eat. Listen, the hottest thing I ever ate was ghost pepper.
No. You're signing the waiver.
I signed the waiver for these. I took one bite and it took my oxygen. The sauce was like, It was so hot. I was in the bathroom with my face under the faucet, and the bar lady was bringing me cups of milk. It was that hot.
Woo! I can't do spice, James, but respect.
So yeah, I'm willing to go that far.
Okay, so we'll make a little wager here.
Okay, so
if Jake Muzzin plays,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Do we do something? Is there a consequence for us? I mean, or is it? Are you just putting yourself on the line?
I'm not eating anything.
Same bet.
Same
bet.
No way.
No, there's not. No. I can't.
Not a chicken dick's chance, James. Am I eating a spicy ghost pepper? You're putting yourself on the line. I think I almost agree with you on this one. So I don't know. If he
listen. I will say this for you too. Here we go. We'll make a show bet right here. I will eat whatever you guys want to plate up for me. You two can conspire and make it happen, and I will eat it, whether it comes in the mail, the plane, it doesn't matter. I'll eat it. I'll be that insane. For you two, I want you to do the ice bucket challenge.
That's fine.
I've already done that, but I guess I can do it I'll do it for Boria.
Yeah. Do it for Boria, yep. That's what I'll throw up to. And I'll eat I'll eat whatever it is you're sending me while doing the ice bucket challenge.
Oh, do you guys have Buffalo Wild Wings in Nova Scotia? I didn't see any.
We don't. We got real wings up here. Okay, we got man wings.
Man wings.
We don't need to go to no. We don't need to go to no little cardboard box, franchise of wings. We have companies that actually are homegrown stuff that have nice, thick, juicy chicken wings here.
I think this is some insecurity coming out about.
Honestly, I'm on James' side here. Buffalo Wild Wings stinks. Their chicken wings are very mid. They're very mid.
You got to come out here. You got to come out here. When you guys do, we'll sit down with some Boxing Rock Brewing Co. Puck off Laugardale, and we'll do 20 wings from Eli's. Guarantee you don't eat them all, but you will get hooked up with some garlic parm rub on them. And then on the other side of that, once they're deep fried, delicious, by the way, you go and get yourself some honey garlic sauce mixed with some hot sauce. Boom, that's the fire. Ooh. The sweet and the heat.
I'm hungry right now.
Nom.
But, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, the week that was for the Toronto Maple Leafs, no one on this group had them 1-2. I thought they'd lose the game.
Pete was closest. You had him going 3-0-0, buddy.
Hey, you know what?
You were trying to actually. I should have went with what you told me, because you were like, "Oh yeah, Dylan has him 1-2." Just before we left.
Listen, why are you listening to me? If you're so confident in your stuff, get it out there, my friend.
I was 2-1. I was confident in that, and Pete was 1-1-1, right?
1-1-1.
1-1-1, 1-1-1.
1-1-1, boys. I was a minute away from being kind of correct. Almost.
Yeah, correct. that was a close game. I will admit, I'm not too disappointed with the game, but I'm kind of upset about it.
I'm pissed about it, man. They couldn't just hang in for one more minute, man. In Boston,
We'll get to the Boston game in just a minute here. But we may have someone coming off the top rope in just a couple of moments here.
No, he's not allowed.
But I will say, I'll say this: the Predators game to me really showed something, though. Without Austin Matthews in the lineup, okay, this team still showed that they can step up and get it done on a higher level. But what I was really impressed about was the defense and the goaltending really standing up and doing something for this team. Now, I may be out to lunch, but I love the fact that this team came together that night and got it done. What did you guys think of the Nashville game from a gut check perspective?
I saw two-time Stanley Cup champion Matt Murray stand on his head. Unbelievable performance by Matt Murray. Also, UC Saros, man, that guy is a stud. Like, some of the saves he was making. But Matt Murray, with this starfish save in the first period, just rolling around. I mean, I think the shot was a little iffy, but man, he was there to make the save. Really liked the goaltending. The defense was good. Had a couple chances. I know Nylander had that breakaway with a beautiful flick pass. I think it was Sandin. But man, UC Saros, that guy is a brick wall.
Yeah, no, he definitely is a brick wall. You know what? Saros is one of those goaltenders, though, too. He has a lot of shots against. His numbers are great, but he gives up a lot of goals, too. He's now tied for 7th in the league for the amount of goals he's allowed. So that's why when I made my video, I was like, the Leafs keep pushing here, they can get something done against the Nashville Predators. But I really like the way they came together as a 5-man unit. It was said by the coach of the, by the way, Gru, what's going on, my friend? It was said by the coach of the Nashville Predators that he liked how they came as a 5-man unit, liked how they really were able to control down low throughout that game. The one blemish on that game, guys, was Pierre Engvall. I'm not knocking Pierre Engvall. Don't get me wrong here. On the 3rd or 4th line, that's where Pierre Engvall will make his bread and butter, and that's where he should be. But they tried him up on the 1st line. I don't think that's a thing we need to see again. He looked discombobulated. It looked like it was too much. The Reeds playing up against the higher echelon players. Am I wrong, guys? I'm not ragging on him. I'm just saying that to me looked like it was
100%.
a mismatch.
Well, I mean, after looking at the Boston game, like clearly he has his own position, but Engvall's not that guy. He consistently thinks he's that guy, but he's
not that
does
guy.
not deserve to be up there. As shredded and as good looking the man is, he does not belong.
He's a certified man.
He does not deserve to be in that top 6. I don't care what.
Certified man rock.
He's ripped like a bad report card. Have you seen him without his shirt on? Like he literally takes his shirt off all the time so he can show his freaking abs.
Petey is punny tonight, folks.
Petey is punny. If there were like warm-ups like the NBA, he'd have his jersey off, just showing his abs, just skating around. 100%.
Oh, he so would.
My thoughts though on the Nashville game, Saros, I want to give this guy a lot of credit. He is breaking a barrier of an uncommon goalie. He is like 5'11", 5'10", and he performs in the NHL at a very well rate. You see the NHL gradually going to these 6'5", 6'6" type goalies, and this guy continues to stand on his head. Nashville had a guy of Pekka Rinne that was 6'4" for years and years, but this Saros kid comes in and he's like, oh, Nashville has their franchise goalie leaving. Oh, we'll take this guy and see how he does, and he's taking the reins. He played really well in this game, but obviously I don't think Nashville is well grouped together. But man, Tanner Jeannot, was he pissed on that save with Matt Murray?
He barely got anything on it.
That is another player that possibly the Leafs could go after. He's a young power forward, but I don't know if he is a top 6 forward off the top of my head. But
is he a UFA, Dylan?
I don't think he's a UFA. Like at trade deadline, I would go after him. But other than that, it was a solid push in I think it was the final 2 minutes, was it not? The goal by Marner?
Yes, they got a power play goal. The power play looked horrendous that game, by the way. But they got Riley took a stick to the face, double minor, ended up winning in the game, and Marner just with a wide open net. Saros could have had that too, man. Like he was pretty close on that dive. Like I would have thrown up if he caught that. I would have quit. I would have quit watching the game and just
rage quit. He would have rage quit watching the game. Hilarious. But Saros is that goalie that can do that stuff for you, right? So
he plays phenomenal, and on any given night, it's not just on rare occasions. He has good numbers. It just they don't have the team around him to do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
No, definitely. Well, but then we move on to the Detroit Red Wing game. I got a little bit of a beef here. I know that by the letter of the law in the NHL that is no goal. I get it. It's okay. I get it. And by the way, I know that I'm a bit of a blowhard and I talk a whole shit ton. So if you guys ever want to cut me off, feel free to do so.
I always do.
But the kicking goal by Bobby McMahon kind of pissed me off.
It was the same situation in New Jersey, so we can't really be mad about it, James.
I understand that. I do. But this was completely different, in my opinion, because Olli Määttä literally projectiled the puck into his own net. It wasn't like it just bounced. It was physically put into the net, off of him, in, like hard. Not like just like, oh, ping, ping, that's what happened. It was a different situation. I really think there should be some bend to that rule where if it deflects or does something different, that it should count. Should count. There has to be a different interpretation.
I don't know, James. I feel like if you count that, there's gonna be so many other scenarios that are gonna be iffy, and I think it's easier if it's a kicking motion, doesn't hit a stick. That's the easiest way to put it. Like, I don't know, like there's so many complications. Like, I guess if it hits off the post,
was there not another goal that it might not have been our game, but there was another goal that completely just went off of skating in. But I know it wasn't kicking motion, but still, like,
I know. For me, you watch that goal and maybe watch it back. It just really Olli Määttä puts it into the net. It's different than it like going ping, ping, ping. You know, I just think there should be some leeway, but that's just my only gripe. I was excited. I didn't get to watch the first period because I was on the road going to get my daughter's cheer shoes that she forgot. So I heard it, and I was literally driving down a dark highway down Forest Hills Extension. If you're in Nova Scotia, you know what I'm talking about. It's dark. There's no streetlights. I was railing the horn because I was so pumped that Bobby McMahon scored, and then they take it back. So sorry to all the deer.
Poor Bobby.
Sorry to all the deer.
That's gotta suck for Bobby, though, man. He thinks he scores his first NHL goal in front of his dad on the dad's trip, and then they take it away. It just sucks. But honestly, at the end of the day, the rule is the rule. That's no goal.
No, it is. I know it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. But I will say this: the Leafs had a little jump in the game, though. They weren't really, you could really tell the bug had kind of taken hold of the team. Yeah. The energy wasn't there. The vibe wasn't there for the team. It didn't look like they were up tempo. And also they hadn't lost in 15 games in Detroit or something like that. So it was a wide open thing where the Leafs had been dominant against this squad in Little Caesars. So it sucked that had to end, but at the same time, if you're going to lose now. I mean, I'm getting a little nervous. Tampa's only 4 or 5 points back now. You really want to show them. You really want this team to show up against teams like that. But if they're sick, that's the effort you get. It is what it is. You move on. You figure it out. Boston Matthews sits another game. But and a couple other things from that game for me. The Simmons penalty really didn't sit well with me because it was a lazy penalty. He had an interference call that was a blatant interference call. And he tried to fight it, and he went to the box, and he was upset about it, and, just saying it wasn't his fault, et cetera, et cetera. And really it was, it was a lazy penalty is what it was. Mm-hmm. And, we'll get to Simmons in the Boston game, and that was a completely different Simmons. He was engaged, fired up, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But, yeah, I didn't like that call. Obviously, I understood that Dryden Hunt was taken out of the lineup for him. Dryden Hunt should have played that game. Because that guy is a little ball of friggin' energy. I love him. Dryden Hunt, that's a player. That is a player. We'll talk more about him later in the show. I love Mr. Hunt. Okay. I don't know what you guys feel there.
I don't think I've seen him play yet this year.
Dylan, you're missing too much hockey work in the night shift. But no,
it's not a night shift. But yeah.
He's throwing the body. I think he's gotten into a fight.
He's gotten into a fight. He hits anything that moves.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the guy we traded for from Colorado, right?
The Malgin deal. I think it's worked out. I like what I see from this Hunt guy. He knows his role. He's playing it well. Dubas has got a knack for finding these guys that just know their role for this team.
Well, that's it. Fine. That was the thing last year that I said about Pierre Engvall, right? He was feeling like he needed to play up the lineup and be more productive up the lineup. And wasn't accepting his role. But I think when he finally accepted that, hey, I'm a third line guy on an energy checking line, That's towards the tail end of the season. That's when he clicked. That's when we saw what Pierre did against Boston. That's when we saw that energy, that drive, and that play that came out of him because he understood where he was and what he was supposed to do. Knowing your role, and you guys hear me say this all the time, knowing your role and then finally being placed in a role to succeed. Those two things coming together for a guy are huge. But the guy, like Mikheyev, was never going to accept the fact that he was a bottom 6 guy with the Leafs. Yeah. He always wanted to be higher up in the lineup. He couldn't accept he was on the third line. And when he was on the third line, we all can say he was kind of a ghost. But then when he went up to Tavares and stuff like that, the wheels were there. The effort level was there. It was different. Same thing with Pierre. Now he understands, I'm a third line guy. This is where I'm going to be. That's fine. And now it all comes together, right? So I don't know. I like what Dryden Hunt brought, but Sonar didn't look good either, to be honest with you.
You think so? Man, I thought he played well.
He did okay, but there's, again, you're allowing 3 goals.
The one goal at the end, I don't remember the first 2, but I thought he kept them in the game.
What have I said to you guys all year long, too? If the offense is bailing out the goalies should bail out the rest of the team on certain nights. The Detroit game was a night where Sonar really should have bailed out that team a bit more. They weren't going. They weren't feeling it. The goalie's got to keep them in it, much like Matt Murray did, against Dallas, against the Nashville Predators. When the team in front of you is not clicking at 100%, it's up to the goaltender to get rocking and rolling.
I have a serious question. If you guys were voting on either of them to go into the All-Star, who would your goalie be?
Matt Murray, no question.
Murray.
Okay.
Not even a second thought, Matt Murray. But don't get me wrong, I love Sammy. Sammy's great. Sonar.
Sammy has great numbers, and I think he has more wins. But
if you're asking me what goalie I want to make a Game 7 save, it's going to be the guy that's done it in Game 7.
Matt Murray. Stanley Cup champion.
Just look at the big games that Matt Murray has played for us this season. Dallas came up big.
One of the
Nashville came up big. Yeah, but he knows when to come up big is what I'm saying. Big saves at key moments, and that's what he's been getting done. And now we flipped the script to last night to Boston, and everybody, whether it was over on the live feeds for whoever you were on, everybody said this game felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
Everybody's 100%. Energy was up for it. Everybody was fired up. It felt that way. And it was cool because playoff Wayne Simmons came out. And he was hitting, he was fighting, he was doing everything you want Wayne Simmons to do. And then on top of that, Dryden Hunt hitting everything that moves. He's got history with Pasternak because he laid him out when he was an Av. And they were after him all night. Bunting was getting his Marchand on by chirping so much that guys were just magnetized to him.
Oh, my God. Did you see an intermission where they were just standing at the blue line? Man, we thought we were in for a third period that was just going to be a bloodbath. But unfortunately, it didn't go the way we thought it would.
No, it didn't. But you know what? That was wicked, though. That's the energy you want from your team. All our guys weren't backing down just as much as their guys weren't backing down. Nobody had their tails between their legs. Riley was yelling. Matthews was yelling. Bunts was on the line. Hunt, Simmer.
I miss so much stuff. Like the only thing I get to watch is like the highlights. So really, it's only the goals in the game. So I missed all the little finer details in between the game. That's why I'm not saying a lot about the games, but I do get the gist of it. But my favorite moment from the game was when Matthews tied it, and he was just like, "What? No screaming now?"
Yeah, no, he really gave it to him. A lot of people were chirping me, about that afterwards. Like, oh, you shouldn't have, summoned the bear. So to speak. Yeah.
What a goal that was, though. Man, he had nothing to shoot at, and he found a seam, man. Sometimes I'm pinching myself. Austin Matthews is a Toronto Maple Leaf, guys.
There was a beautiful goal, but again, it showed those little moves weren't there a week ago, right? That dance, that confidence, that speed, that beast mode Matthews. So it showed taking a little time off and then coming back to play, he was fired up and ready to go.
I'm not saying you're wrong on it, James. I'm just saying it's kind of silly for it to happen.
It is, but look at guys like look at a lot of guys that go 82 games, right? It was fun. It was fun to see. Loved it. Loved the fact that Matthews got fired up and ready to go. The Boston game was great, though. That's a game you want. Sign me up for 7 more of those in the playoffs with the Leafs going the other way. That's hockey I want to see. I love it.
James, it never goes our way.
But I did not enjoy that game from the highlights. It looked like we had a lot of turnovers.
I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she's like, "Pete, you need to smile," because the entire game I just was frowning. I'm like, they're blowing it this game. They're not playing like they want it. It was a fun game to watch. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted the Leafs to win that one so badly, especially in regulation. And it was just like the little things pissing me off, like Connor Timmins giving it away, trying to get it to Riley, Pasternak getting that breakaway, and then Murray letting in sort of a weak one there. But yeah, that game just really aggravated me.
I was excited to watch them hang.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I was excited to watch the Leafs hang. They hung with the Boston Bruins because they were supposed to get smoked because the Bruins are 9 points better and the Bruins are the best team in the league and the Bruins are this and the Bruins are that. Well, the Leafs went, hey, we're up 1-0. Hey, we're up 2-1.
I mean, they're second place in the division. I think maybe even second place in the league, and it's just
third.
I don't think they were gonna get smoked. I knew it was Saturday night hockey, like hockey night in Canada. We knew it was gonna be a good game. I wanted them to win that badly. Guys, I can't stand the Bruins.
Oh, listen, I fully agree with you, and Dylan, you'll probably agree with this too. I wanted the Leafs to win that game so bad, because obviously,
whatever. We'll save it for the playoffs, right?
Hey, you know what?
Once they slay this fucking dragon, they're gonna win it all.
The Leafs used to lose to the teams they beat in the playoffs before. They used to get whooped by Ottawa back in the early 2000s. Every regular season game, come playoffs, smoked them, took them out, gone, sweep. See you later.
Oh, I'll never forget that. We swept them at home, James.
So, to me, it's okay. We lost it. Sucks. We move on. We figure it out. We go forward. Dylan, I wanted to bring something up, but you got your finger up, so you go right ahead.
I have a theory. If the Bruins continue this streak of hotness, I think they will get burnt out in the playoffs.
They're peaking too high. They're peaking too early. You're correct on that, Dylan. They're peaking too early.
They're peaking too early, but the problem here is, guys, that nobody's talking about, they got cap space. And they're going to go and get a very nice big name. I don't think it'll be Patty Kane. It's going to be more of a Bruin-type player.
Yeah, it's going to be Horvat or Timo Meier, I think.
Oh, man.
Just imagine Ryan O'Reilly over there.
No.
Doesn't he fit in there just perfectly?
Oh,
he's a Bruin to me. He's a Bruin to me. I feel it. I feel it in my bones that Ryan O'Reilly is going to the Boston Bruins. Just got a feeling.
I think they're peaking like the Tampa Bay Lightning did a few years ago when they got swept by Columbus.
I also believe that what Toronto is doing in the regular season is the proper way to handle everything heading into the playoffs.
Yep, I agree with you. They've learned from the Tampa Bay philosophy. Let's say
exactly. That. Look at Tampa Bay last year. They were like, fuck, we don't care. We're not going to be President's Trophy winners. Let's coast into the playoffs and peak at the right time. They beat us and went on a run. And if we're facing them in the first round, they might be a little bit tired.
They may be a little bit tired. They definitely will show some rust. They showed it to start it off. The thing I want to bring up about the Boston game is, and a lot of fans have said this, not just Maple Leaf fans, so everybody who's watching, wherever you're watching from, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Leaf fan. The reffing this year is horrendous.
Yep.
And I can't wait to get Dave Jackson back on with us to talk about the reffing that is going on so far. If you didn't catch that episode, go check it out. He is the ESPN rules analyst, former NHL referee, Mr. Dave Jackson. Me and Dylan had him on in the summer. But it's bad. Last night, there's a few plays to me that really didn't sit well with me. The stick flying out of the hands of Allmark, it definitely looked like he threw that. That kind of ticked me off. The trip on Hall, that ticked me off because that was incidental contact.
Oh, that was brutal.
And then the one that really made me mad, because it's a reputation thing now. I've said this to you guys. Bunting's got a reputation now.
Yep.
But the slash on his breakaway on his arm, it was so fast, but it was so hard that it interfered with what he was doing, did not get called. I'm not saying because I'm a homer, but that is a call that needs to be called. But they ref that game like a playoff game. There were skirmishes after the whistle they didn't take guys out of. They let guys take liberties at each other, Leafs and Bruins. So it was back and forth. But those three things to me were three things that really, in a microcosm, shifted the game.
No, I would probably agree. Bunting played really well that game, though. I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
Bunting was our Brad Marchand last night.
He was a freaking horse, and I love that guy to death.
I would love to hear Bunting mic'd up with Brad Marchand and hearing the chirps going at each other. How good of television would that be, boys?
I told you last night, it wouldn't be much to hear because it would be beep, 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 beep. You think Beaker was on TV.
Can I pay for the unfiltered version, please?
Yeah, let's do it. That'd be amazing.
Set it up, NHL. I'd pay for that. I would love to hear that. Hear what they say.
They'll set up an OnlyFans so that the content is
the OnlyFans Hockey Edition.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Well, we got the week that will be here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll blow through this pretty quickly. We got the Panthers. The Leafs really need to be up for this one. They're not exactly been known to be up for teams that are lower in the standings. And, the Panthers are fighting for every single point they can get. We got the Jets, who are really starting to click right now. So that might be no joke. And then the Canadians on Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, bright light. Let's go. As much as the Habs want to not win games, they are going to bring it to the Maple Leafs. Josh Anderson plays up to the Toronto Maple Leafs all the time. So they're really going to bring it. What are you guys taking this week? What is your record? And if you're watching anywhere, what is your record for the Leafs this week?
I'm going to go. Also, I'll start here. So Panthers, the Leafs are coming off of two regulation losses. I think they're going to pummel the Panthers on Tuesday here. They're going to pummel them. Then we got the Jets. That's going to be a little bit of closer one. That's also at home. I think the Jets will – the Leafs are going to walk away with the W on that one. That's 2. So they'll win the first 2. Now, the Canadians, guys, I need your help. I have a bet at work with one of my coworkers. We have to make an embarrassing message to our work chat about depending on which team wins here. So I'm going to go Leafs win this one. But if you guys have any ideas for what I should make my coworker say to our work chat, that would be fantastic. But my prediction this week is 3-0.
I'm going a 2-0-1 with the overtime loss to the Jets. I think the Jets are clicking a little bit too much right now. Hellebuck is in Vezina caliber friggin'. Yeah, he's just on fire. I think they got Ehlers back, if I'm not mistaken.
They do, I do believe. Yeah, he'll be ready for us at least anyways.
And Josh Morrissey is doing really well on the back end. So it's going to be a heater, very much probably like this Bruins game that we just experienced. So I'm looking forward to that one. Pierre-Luc Dubois, we hate him. So Matthews is going to put him through the turnbuckle. I don't know. I do not like.
No, they got some bad blood, Dylan. I agree with you. Matthews better freaking move his body. You better crush that guy.
I'm gonna go ahead, Dilly.
And then the Canadians. I know they'll bring it, but I think we can squeeze out a win.
0-3.
0-3. You're what? Come on, you're a homer, James. 0-3. No, come on. 0-2-1.
This doesn't even freaking surprise me.
I'm not going 0-3. I have the Maple Leafs going 2-1 this week. I think they lose to the Panthers. I think they go on a 3-game loser, and Keefe really shakes it up, kicks it into high gear. and the Leafs go on, play the Winnipeg Jets, get fired up, get amped up, because that's a game that everybody's going to get up for. It's the Leafs, it's the Jets, and there is nothing better than beating the Jets, Mark Scheifele? Oh, wait, you said the Leafs. So don't worry, we're going to mollywop you. It's going to happen. Jesse Pollock, I know you'll see this. I know you'll see this. So, Jesse, I hope you know the Leafs are going to win against your little Jets. And then for the Montreal Canadiens, Les Habitants, I think the Leafs are going to pick up a game-winning goal on overtime. It's going to go to OT. And I'm going to be loving it because it's going to be Austin Matthews in the Bell Center. Woo!
It's going to be a Bell Center beatdown, boys.
Cannot wait. Yeah, no, the Leafs are going to be 2-1 this week. Like I said, the one they're going to lose is going to be against the Panthers. I think they're just a little discombobulated right now. They got the flu bug running through, so these guys are going to heal up a little bit, get back to it, and the rest of the week's going to be fun to watch. So, with it being the good, bad, and the ugly time, I'm going to rip through this pretty quick because I want to get to some awards, the big awards for the Leafs. For the league. So for the good, I got Dryden Hunt. This is a guy whose style will benefit us through the playoffs. He hits anything that moves. Reminds me of a smaller version of Ross Colton. Am I wrong?
No.
Ross Colton.
Ross Colton, Ross Colton, I hope.
No,
Tampa Bay, he scored the Stanley Cup winner, I think.
He scored a Stanley Cup winner. He was the guy that would fly in at the beginning of each period against the Leafs and throw a big schlobber knocker of a hit and really rattle the boards and get people fired up. That's what Hunt reminds me of. He's a guy that's just going to bring the energy, plow over some bolts, doesn't give a crap, will fight if he has to, so.
Yep.
That's a guy that I think is the way that we want for the playoffs is a guy, which is Dryden Hunt. The bad guys, we touched on it earlier, the special teams. This team's got to get it going. The penalty kill and the power play, middling part of the league right now, should be a power play and a penalty kill that were where they were last year in at least the top 5, but we're not even cracking the top 10.
5 forward power play too.
Yeah. So we're not even doing it. I think that it just needs to get back together. It needs to get rolling. Same with the PK. I want to see them at least crack the top 10 by the end of the season. Because if those things aren't rolling going into the playoffs, that's a problem.
Correct.
And then finally, we got the ugly. The ugly for me is the playoff seeding.
Oh, it's always going to be ugly. Always.
I just don't like it. It doesn't make for races. It doesn't make it fun.
Does not. It will. I don't even know if it will ever change.
It will. At some point,
would this ever be fun for you guys? You know how the CFL does crossovers? From a different conference, they come over and end up being a different seed.
That'd be cool.
I would love to see a crossover.
Yes.
The only reason right now in this moment why I like that is because you see the Pacific and it is so extremely weak that you're gonna have 4 teams and 2 of them are gonna be weak and you're gonna be like this isn't that entertaining. And then you look at us in the Atlantic, and it's a tight race right down to the last game of the season.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard anyone, because I've never heard anyone say that, oh, I really enjoy this playoff seeding. No, it's terrible. I don't like the fact that we know who we're playing halfway through the season. We know we're matched up with the Tampa Bay Lightning. We knew this, I think, last season, the other season, we knew we were playing Boston at this point. It's fucking frustrating. I hate it. Let's go back to the 1A. And even though we'd still be playing Tampa, I think if it was back to 1A, I still want it back to that. It was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. Maybe throw in a Western Conference team like James said here, but no, back to the 1A, Gary. Do it.
Yeah, no, I like it like that. I'd rather it be like that, but it is what it is, unfortunately. All right, Dylan. We're going to do Offsides mid-season awards.
Let's go.
So we'll do the Hart, we'll do the Vezina, we'll do the Ted Lindsay. What other ones do you guys want to do? The Rocket's already sewed up.
Calder.
He's got
Calder.
What did you say was sewed up?
The Rocket.
Oh yeah, the Rockets totally sewed up right now. I'd like to do the coach and the GM.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
Well, Dylan,
let's go
I would
trophy
like
by
you to lead
trophy.
it off.
I think the heart is kind of self-explanatory here. I think we can all agree it's probably going to be Connor McDavid.
Should they change the
Wording?
wording on that one there to, because obviously Connor McDavid's great, but I think it should be a team that a player that most helps his team to the
Succeed.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Oilers miss the playoffs and Connor McDavid wins the award, I don't know.
That was going to be my question. Like, do you think he should still win the award if they miss the playoffs, like Mario did a few years ago? Not a few years ago, a while ago. Like,
who else do you think would be up for this trophy?
I don't know. My pick is McDavid as well. So
would you go with somebody like Allmark for say, who has led Boston to?
That's a player that should be in the Hart conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, okay. There's a few players. I mean, if you're on a team that is going to the playoffs, I mean, yeah, it should be more weighted that way.
Tage Thompson.
That's another one. Yeah, no, it's not a bad choice.
But Buffalo's probably not going to make the playoffs as well.
No, that's the argument again, right? Where it's not a playoff team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, McDavid is going to be. But what do you think, Petey?
I said McDavid. McDavid is my pick for the Hart.
Yeah.
I'm going Allmark.
Just because I said it there.
You know, the more I think about it, I mean, how valuable it is for a goaltender to do what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree.
No one saw it coming.
I will take that there. Who is your rookie right now, Mr. Pete the Heat?
I think there's two obvious choices here. I'm gonna go. I'm still not. Seattle is like I'm not sold on them, man. But I'm gonna go with Logan Thompson from Vegas. I think he's gonna. I like him to win the Calder. It's tough between him and Mr. Matty Beniers, but I'm going with Logan.
All right.
I would love to say the guy that I predicted at the beginning of the season, Mr. Mason McTavish, but unfortunately the Ducks suck and they're not doing so well. So I'm going to go with Matty Beniers. He's actually really stepped it up for Seattle, and I think he's on the first line if I'm not mistaken. I watched the shot by him from the blue line last night, which was an absolute snipe. So I'll go with Beniers.
I'm going to go off the board for you guys here, and I'm going to say Calen Addison. Reason why I say that, he's actually not too far off on the point lead for rookie points. Obviously, we know Matty Beniers is a step ahead, but Calen Addison, a defenseman, doing kind of like most Seider things, scoring points. It's hard when you break in as a young man to do that as a defenseman and also have to trust your coach and all that stuff. So Calen Addison, to me, is a guy that really should be more in the conversation for the Calder Trophy, just in my opinion.
I watched the I think it's like a YouTube series on the Wild, and I guess there was a losing streak at one point during the season, and Marc-Andre Fleury took things into his own hands, and he was like, when the boys are on a losing streak, you gotta loosen things up. So he put like a horn underneath the brake of Calen Addison's car, and every time he pressed on the brake, the horn was just like right outside the airport.
The pranksters.
And he's just like, what the hell is going on? I was just like, I thought that was really cool, and it's definitely something that is needed in a locker room when you're kind of all tense in a moment in the season like that.
No, it definitely is. Yeah. So, I mean, that's my Calder. Go ahead, Dilly.
I also have a question. Do you guys? I know that it doesn't always happen each year that there's a rookie goaltender in the league, but do you ever think that there should be one for specifically the goalies and one specifically for the players?
I don't think there's enough rookie goaltenders playing for that to be a thing, Dylan. But I like the idea. Just there's only so many goalies in the league, so I don't think it's possible to have it.
It's fair. It was just a question.
Yeah.
All right.
Good question.
Who do you have for your Vezina, Dylan Fournier?
I got my boy Jake Ottinger.
I
This
saw
kid
that. I
has
was like, what?
come out the gates. He's like 24 years old, and he's put Dallas on his back, and they are a wagon in the Central right now, along with Jason Robertson, helping support the points there.
No, the answer is Linus Ullmark, and if you
No.
have anyone else, you're wrong.
No.
You're incorrect.
No.
It's Linus Ullmark. It's not even a debate.
No.
It's Linus
Yeah,
Ullmark.
I'm with Linus
Next
Ullmark. I'm
trophy.
with Linus Ullmark.
Yeah, like, it's not even close.
I'm gonna pull up stats here.
Okay.
Here's the thing for me with Linus Ullmark, though. Great that you're going to have a great regular season. He hasn't gone deep on a playoff run because Bruins didn't make it. So I want to see what Linus Ullmark does this year.
Yeah, but
And yes.
playoffs don't matter for the trophy. But
No, I know it doesn't matter, but I'm just thinking about, we were talking earlier about the Bruins peaking out. You know, you got to wonder how Ullmark's going to handle that run too.
They also have Jeremy
Swayman hasn't
Swayman,
looked
who's
hot.
pretty good. Jeremy Swayman's pretty good.
So the next one we have up is the Norris Trophy. I know everybody's going to be talking about Mr. Rasmus Dahlin. What do you have, Pete?
I'm going with the guy that's making a resurgence for the San Jose Sharks, Erik Karlsson. I like what I see. He's trying to. He's brought his game back. Hopefully, he can get moved to a different team. His contract sucks, but he's having a resurgence, and I'd love to see it. Erik Karlsson, my pick.
Erik Karlsson. Dylan Fournier, what are you doing here?
So you already said him, but I feel like this is kind of due. He was a number 1 overall pick for Buffalo. He was somebody that he didn't fully come into the league off to a great start. And I think with Buffalo doing really well this year in a very competitive Atlantic, he's been doing really great this year. And I think he deserves to be in not only the All-Star, but I think he deserves to be top 3 for the Norris Trophy.
All right. I'm going to go Josh Morrissey out of the Winnipeg Jets.
Good
Another
pick.
guy who's really stepping it up and bringing it this year for the Jets and really being a resurgent kind of guy and bringing everything that the Jets need this year to propel themselves forward. I think Josh Morrissey is the guy for the Norris.
Good pick, James.
Solid pick.
Oh, Art Ross. We just going to all say McDavid here.
Yeah, McDavid next.
The Selke. Who we going?
The Schalke.
I don't want to say Bergeron, and I really don't know of anybody else in the league right now that is at his caliber in this league. Like, I'd love to say Matthews, but I don't think he's reached that level yet. So unfortunately, I'm gonna say Bergeron. It would be his 10th in a row, I think.
Fuck what you have to say. I'm going Mr. Poppy Austin Matthews. I think I saw a stat online. He's got the most defensive touches as a forward. So he's really improved his two-way game this year. And I like what I see, man. He's making those great plays. And I know he doesn't play on the PK, but
that was going to be the knock.
Fuck
That's
it.
the knock.
I saw you opening your jaw there, James. No, he's winning the Selke this year.
Listen, I'm going with you. I want Pappy to take it,
Yeah.
but Pappy's got to start playing on the damn PK. Get some minutes on there. Get some reps.
He won't ever play there. I don't think he'll ever play on the PK.
We'll see.
It's not needed. You
Listen,
got Mitchie holding. Screw it. Let's go Mitchie for that.
Mitchie wasn't needed on the PK either, and look at him go. Creating offense, scoring shorties.
Yep.
All right, Lady Bing.
I got Barkov. I looked up stats on who has. I searched through who has 0 penalty minutes in the league right now, and of superstar caliber. Barkov is one of the top guys.
I got a good one. I have Jason Robertson. He's got 0 pins this year, and he's looking great. So
That was my guy right there.
Jason Robertson. I knew you'd have him too, James. I was like, that's why I want to get it in first. Jason Robertson, man.
I had to do a lot of searching for this because I thought you were doing it midweek, and I was searching it through it during before work in my car, so I had to get the list done fairly quick.
Fair enough.
No problem. I won't hold it against you. Jack Adams this year.
Well, Jim Montgomery, it's not even a debate. I mean,
It is a debate.
are you guys sold on Jim Montgomery?
No.
No?
No. What Pete DeBoer is doing in Dallas, it has changed the entire culture. The team was struggling last year with I can't remember who it was.
Head coach.
What?
Come on. He's the
It wasn't Bruce.
He's Bruce.
Where is he?
Pete DeBoer's in Dallas.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the Jets' current head coach is
I can't think of his name.
Oh,
it's the old guy.
Rick Bowness.
Rick Bowness. He has changed the culture, and look at these star-studded young guns in Dallas. He's doing an excellent job. I think he'll
get a nod. Yeah,
I feel like Boston could definitely slip. You think they're going to go on another 35 whatever and record during this second half?
No evidence of them slowing down here, Dylan.
I think there's evidence of them slowing down. They lost to Seattle this past week, so
Seattle's no slouch, though. Everybody's like, they lost to Seattle. Seattle's.
I'm just saying.
Seattle nobody was 7-game road trip.
I'm going with Jim Montgomery because you know why?
Because he's a rookie.
No, he's not a rookie.
It's his first year.
First year as a Bruin.
As a Bruin.
I thought it was who
he's
he coached last
head
year.
Coach at Dallas. He had to walk away because of issues in his personal life.
Right.
So the reason
you just said Rick Bowness was last year.
He was. Rick Bowness took over for Jim Montgomery when Jim Montgomery left. So Bowness stayed on for that run to the playoffs, stayed on again for I think 1 or 2 more years, and that's why he's gone now because his contract was done. Jim Montgomery in Boston, everyone loves a story. And him coming back to the NHL and recapturing a head coaching job, getting his life on track, get everything back together, him leading the Bruins like they are, that's a story of the NHL.
Oh my God, James, you're gonna make me puke. You know what? If Boston wins the cup this year, they're gonna make like a stupid Netflix special that we're all gonna have to watch, where it's like the last dance for Boston, where they brought in Krejci, Bergeron signs, they bring in this new coach, and then
Chara came in at the deadline.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're putting a terrible image in my head. Anyways.
But yeah, Jim Montgomery definitely for me. Obviously because of the feel good thing of it. Who do you have here for the Ted Lindsay? We all say McDavid?
Yeah.
What about the William M. Jennings trophy this year? Everyone's saying Linus Ullmark and Swayman. If the Leafs can get things back together, their tandem is pretty damn tasty.
That's who I.
That is 100% true. In the predicting Ullmark and Swayman is just basically saying like Swayman's holding down the fort, or Ullmark is holding down the fort, so Swayman just is there.
Yeah, I would think the Leafs where they have more of a one.
I could agree on the Leafs because of I think they have 14 and 12 wins.
I think it is. Yep. So I mean, they're splitting it down the middle more so than other teams. So
yeah, it's
that would be more to the true Jennings name.
Yeah, I like that. Leafs for the Jennings.
Let's go, Leafs for the Jennings. You heard it here first. All right, what else do we have on the docket here? 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Jim Gregory. Wow, I can't say it.
The Gregory. That's the GM of the Year award.
Yeah.
Who's taking the Gregory?
Although they have slid a little bit, I do believe they're still in second in the Metro. I'm going with Tom Fitzgerald of the New Jersey Devils.
Ooh, fire.
I am going the man that's the myth, the legend that's going to be re-signing with this team at the end of the year, Mr. Kyle Dubas.
But really, what has he done, though, to make this season?
Just wait. it's not the trade deadline yet. It's not the
No. Full responsibility. Look at the 2 goalies that he's brought in.
The 2 goalies. He picked up your boy Dryden Hunt, signed Malgin, turned him into an asset. He's done a lot of stuff, James. Like, come on.
Kelly Yarncroke, yep.
Yarncroke, yeah. He's made some big signings this year. So
Gio, he's brought in.
Signed Gio
last year, but still.
All right.
I could see that as viable.
I'm going with Ron Francis. Seattle Kraken. They're a team that nobody expected to do anything this year. They're a team that has second liners throughout their whole entire lineup. It's no superstar player there, but a lot of guys who bought in just like the Vegas Golden Knights did that one year. He's got them all playing that certain way. And the goaltending. He went and found guys that can tend the goal while their real superstar goaltender in Gruby was not there. So he's went and made the right moves and set everything up and has this team believing in itself and going on a run. I'm not mad at it.
Great.
Seattle was a laughing stock last year for their first year. And
I feel like
they did it on purpose.
I feel like all 3 of these could be the top 3.
Let's go. I like it.
What about the Rocket?
The Rocket? What
Pasta.
are you guys doing?
Pasta.
Oh, okay. I thought James was gonna say somebody else.
Oh, okay. I'm going Tage Thompson.
Who are you saying, Dilly? Who do you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Matthews. I thought you were gonna say he was gonna go on a tear.
Yeah.
You know what? There is no one within this industry that doesn't think that he's gonna go on some ridiculous run here. Like everybody's waiting for him to flip on the switch and just tear it up. Like they talk about it every broadcast. That he hasn't had a multi-goal game, and just wait, these multi-goal, triple-goal games are coming. And McDavid and all these guys better watch out because Matthews is going to storm the gates.
That is 100% fair. I was going to say Pasta because this man just wants a fat contract.
He's gonna get paid.
But Connor McDavid, it does not look like he's slowing down anytime soon, and he's on pace for like 150 points. So like he could be up to like close to 70 goals. And he did study Matthews in the offseason, so I could see that happening as well.
Damn, son. All right. There's our midseason awards. We will come back to it, see what it is. Someone said Pasta is funny. Well, guess what? I think Pasta is a goal-scoring machine.
He is. He scored against Murray literally yesterday.
So I like Pasta. That's the guy that I think might do it this year, just go on a bit of a tear himself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Leafs Weekender. We try to keep it short and sweet, but we never do. It's all good. We're brought to you by Boxing Rock Brewing Co. Puck Off Lauderdale. We have to do one thing here at the end of the show, and it's the Boxing Rock Bearded Blue Warrior. I'm going to let Pete take it. So go ahead, Petey.
Okay. This is so funny to talk with on. My Boxing Rock Puck Off Lauderdale blue bearded.
You can't even say it.
It's the Boxing Rock Brewing Co. Bearded Blue Warrior of the Week.
I don't know if you guys have seen these highlights because they're absolutely disgusting. This 14-year-old girl in Slovakia, Nela Lapusonova. Sorry, I'm absolutely butchering her name, but this girl is the first girl to do a Michigan in women's international hockey. She's doing through the legs snipes, going bar down on breakaways. She is 14 years old and she's unbelievable. So she is my blue bearded warrior.
All right, Dylan, who is your bearded blue warrior of the week?
Hold on, I gotta pull up this stat here. So I don't know if anybody can see this, but Connor Bedard in his last 10 games played in the WAHL has 17 goals, 22 assists, 39 points, and 67 shots.
Sheesh.
Kid's a freaking wagon.
That's your bearded warrior.
Bluted beer warrior.
All right, so guys, I got to cheat here. Mine isn't going to be one person or two or three or
cheating.
four. It's going to be
Peter.
thousands of people. It's going to be every man and woman
Ooh.
who works for a professional organization, a junior organization, as the medical staff, the trainers, the EMTs, the first responders who get on a field or on the ice to take care of people when they are hurt, when they are injured. They literally saved Mr. Number 3's life, okay? They saved the man's life. And I don't think they get enough respect. We had an incident happen at the Marlies game as well. You know, thoughts go out to the family, the friends, the co-workers, everyone of that person. That's super sad. You never want to hear about that. But again, those people have to be there and have to take care of these people and make sure that, you know, if there is a serious injury, that they're limiting these guys' mobility, so guys and gals, so they don't further the injury that they have. Mm-hmm. So I want to take a moment and say thank you to all of those people that are in the rinks, you know, doing the work, cuts, bruises, doesn't matter. They are there. And even if they're for the opposing team, everyone comes together and makes sure that they take care of someone. So my Boxing Rock Bearded Blue Warrior goes out to each and every person that works these games, whatever sport it is. Tip of the cap to you. You guys are awesome. And you guys deserve a hell of a lot more and a hell of a lot more resources and respect. So cheers to you.
Good pick, James. Great pick.
Great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that I've got you all sapped up and your eyes are a little misty, I want to say this is Offside Hockey Talk, the place where the Toronto Maple Leafs and hockey comes to talk.